what's up guys, it's Claudio here and we are at Randall's Island for my very first fixed gear criterium. So excited about this. Man, I was kind of terrified. Let's talk about why I decided to do this. I worked the night before. I couldn't make the regular road race, which was like at 6 in the morning. There's no way. Because I got home at 3 in the morning and I was so exhausted. This was like at 8:40. So I had just 2 hours to sleep. And check out my Whoop. Okay, I was struggling, okay, to get out of bed. I had 2 hours of sleep. I made it to this, the fixed gear. I have a track bike that I've been racing track with, so why not try this? So that's why I ended up with in the fixed gear crit, and man, was it fun. Highly recommend. I'm going to talk all about it, but first let's get into the stats, and I'm going to get into my bike. The stats, miles an hour average 26, that's fast. Normalized power 257, average power 220. And let's get into my bike. This is a neutral lap. I'm riding the State Bikes Black Label. This bike I had for like 4 years. So all I had to do is just pimp it out. I spent, what did I do? $300 on Omnium cranks, 165 millimeters. And that's because you don't want to clip on the turns, so you get the shorter crank length. That was $300. I had an FSA 51 tooth chain ring in the front, $60. I had an FSA 110 millimeter stem, $80. Pedals I already had, handlebars I already had. Yo-yo race wheels. Okay, this was kind of the biggest cost, and I have 60 millimeters in the front, 80 millimeters in the rear, carbon. These were $650 shipped from China. They're like the cheapest wheels that they have with the Novatech hubs. And I do recommend them, even though their customer service was kind of spotty and I was kind of annoyed. It took them forever to get to me. But at that price, I can't be complaining. Then I put a power meter, Stages left side, $590 off of eBay. It was new. I did that just for you guys, so we can have that power overlay. Super excited about that. My total investment was somewhere around $1,100, not including the bike that I already had. So I spent $1,100 to get into this. If you're looking to get this bike from scratch, you can build it out for somewhere around $1,600 to $1,700. I'd recommend it. It's totally solid. It's aluminum. It rocks the house. A lot of people use State Bike frames. You can just go on their website. So guys, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm really excited about this channel. I'm going to be posting all kinds of things, tracks from the velodrome, more road races coming up. So subscribe, hit that thumbs up. It'll really help the algorithm. And follow me on Instagram. You know that I post all my workouts on my Instagram stories at Claudio_Fierro. And here we go, guys. The neutral lap is about to end, and you know what's gonna happen here. We're gonna start sprinting. This is like my 5th time racing this course. I've raced the road races. And every time, if you're not in the front, you're gonna get dropped here. I've been dropped every single time on this course. We're starting, and there's a sprint, and you have to hammer it. Absolutely have to hammer it. And if you're not in the front half of the group, you are most likely going to get dropped, because even strong riders who get gapped, the effort that you have to do, you can see here, you just monster watts to stay with the front. Luckily I was there. Not luckily, it was very intentional. I lined up and I knew I had to be like 5th wheel at the start of the race. So let's talk about how this feels. Guys, you can't coast, obviously. It's kind of a crazy thing. And here I have to slow down. So you kind of have to, it feels like you're backpedaling, but you gotta apply some pressure to slow down. And that's basically what you gotta do. When you are just starting, you have a tendency to want to coast. Because when you close a gap, especially when you close a gap in front of you in road, your tendency is to coast or brake. But most of us will just coast to slow down. And if you try to coast on a track bike on a fixed gear, you're gonna buckle the wheel and it's gonna jump and you're gonna wreck. So luckily I've had a good like 6 or 7 track days, so that instinct was all gone. I never had an issue here. I could pedal and I was fine. So another thing that I noticed after racing is that this fixed gear race was way less scarier than the road race. The road race criteriums. There was a lot less sketchy things happening throughout the race, and it was because we don't have brakes. And I know that sounds crazy, like it sounds like it would be way more dangerous. Let me see how I take this turn here. This was hard for me. This was really hard, and you need to jump out of here. And I'm going to talk about my gear ratio, which is 51-16. But anyways, because you don't have brakes, less sketchy stuff is happening. You can't slam your brakes. The people in front of you can't slam the brakes. The worst thing that could happen is you're going to get gapped like this. But it felt safer. It felt way safer than my road criterium races. Even though a few sketchy things happen on some of the turns just because people overcooked them. But we're in there and I'm hammering it. Already there's a selection. You can see it's strung out. It is so strung out. The front group is almost completely selected. And you're gonna see here what's gonna happen. And we have a big monster attack coming up. I mean, this guy, he's gone. In order to hop on his wheel, man, the number of watts, forget it. Everybody's like, no way. So we kind of ramp it up. We try to get on his wheel, but the guy's gone. And again, this is a 35-minute crit, and it's open to everybody. Okay, all the categories. So you can have, that guy is, I don't know what category, he's not a beginner at all that just attacked. So we have people, I know people that are Cat 3s here. I think there are maybe some Cat 2s. And then good old me, a Cat 5 track rider, I'm just sitting in. I do have fitness, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So it's very interesting. Things are ramping up. Let's look at my RPMs, okay? I have a gear ratio of 16 in the back, 51 in the front. And I looked up some website. I said, because I had no idea what kind of gearing to do for a criterium. I know on track, I usually do 51 and 15 in the back. But I needed to size down because I needed to punch out of these corners. So this gear ratio, it takes me about, when I get up to 30 miles an hour, I'm spinning at around 120 RPM, which is fast. So generally I'm spinning fast at this race, but I really need the help of a smaller gear, of a lighter gear, to punch out of this. Because this, if you have a heavy gear, you're gonna wreck your legs punching out of this every time. It's just gonna take way too much muscle power and it's gonna ruin you. So if you're a beginner, size down and go to around 86. I don't know how they come up with these ratios, like 16 and 51 equals 86. But there's a whole chart on the internet that you can come up with. In the mid 80s, 86 is the recommended, and it totally worked for me. I'd recommend it here. At the velodrome, Kisena Velodrome, I'm running somewhere in the 90s, 91, 92. And that works really great. I've run 93 also. So 52 in the front and 15 in the back. And that'll get you some speed. That'll get you up to 35 miles an hour for sure. But here, it was important for me to be able to surge. You can see behind me, the selection has been made. We have a huge gap. And closing these gaps in front of me was not a big problem with my gearing. And here also, I let a little gap in front of me because I knew we had to slow down. They were going to slow down here, but you can pedal through this. Eventually, we got to the point where I could actually continue to pedal power through it as opposed to kind of coasting. You'll see my power, when it goes down to 0, it feels like I'm coasting. I'm just letting my legs continue to pedal, but I'm not putting power in. It's kind of the equivalent to coasting. You got to keep moving your legs. So we're talking about it's being safe. It's just way safer. I don't know what else to say about that. I know it sounds crazy, but something about having brakes on your bike is just making everything so much more dangerous. It's really why crashes happen. People get spooked and they slam their brakes, and that's it. It's over. And here, we're going to see what happens, how I take this turn again. And I'm letting this gap open up intentionally because I know that we're going to have to slow down soon. And check out the rider in front of me, how he kind of starts to apply pressure in the back. Well, he didn't do it there. You're slowing down. And here I overcooked it. I went wide. I almost hit that. I almost wiped out. And the thing to remember, I'm going to have to sprint this. Let's see what I do. Yeah, I have to. It was fine. It was totally fine. One thing that I noticed that was hard, it was leaning your bike over. You know, in road, you coast. You put your leg up and then you lean over, and that's how you create that tight turn. Here, when you lean over, you're still pedaling, and it feels weird. And I didn't get that. I didn't have that down yet. The leaning and pedaling situation was a little tricky for me, and this is literally the first time that I've ever done it. So it's going to take some time for me. It's just too many things going on. That's why I went so wide on that corner. But anyways, we have the chase group. There's 2 guys up the front. They're strong as hell, and we're trying to work together, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing any work. I tell the guy here, you got to close that. I'm not going up there. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I'm just sitting in. I'm thinking that I'm going to get dropped any minute, and I'm scared of the turns. That's what's going on in my head. But my fitness is all right. It's good for criterium. I haven't been training a lot of volume because I just can't. I work a lot on the weekends, and my training is somewhere like 6 to 8 hours a week. And through Trainer Road, I've been doing the short power build and the mid volume. Most of my training is just VO2 max intervals, surge and recover, like 30 seconds, and then 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off, stuff like that. 15 on, 15 off, this type of intervals. And that's why I'm able to hang on here. This is all this is. It's just surging and recovering, surging and recovering. That's the kind of fitness that you need for these type of races. You don't need huge volume, right? It's a 35-minute race. If you want to race multiple times a day, okay, you need this kind of big volume, big aerobic engine. But I already did that during the base season. My base training, I have good base still in me, so I'm not too worried about that. I just got to keep my high-end fitness going, and I'll be all right for most of the season, for most of the rest of the season. Let's see how I take this. It's fine. Okay, I did okay there, but still, there are people taking the inside like it's no big deal, and they probably have that dialed in. So let's see what else is going on. I have more races coming up. I mean, this race is going to happen again in 2 weeks. I doubt that I'm going to be able to make it. I'm going to be literally on like 30 minutes of sleep. I don't know if I can do that to myself. The only reason I was able to race is because I had good sleep throughout the week, so I wasn't totally destroyed. But it's not a good idea to race on 2 hours. So this is it. This is what happens, and we're just rotating, and we're getting to the end of the race right here. Okay, we have about a lap and a half to go. I skipped, and we're racing for third. The 2 guys in the front, they're away. They're gone. No one's catching them. So we're all sitting in. racing for third, and I'm feeling good about finishing the race with this group. It's just a matter of what's going to happen. And these surges, man, they eventually add up. They kill your legs. But I remember my heart rate was not really hurting too much. My max heart rate is around 195. You can tell I'm chilling. And now we're coming up on the straightaway, and this is going to be the last lap right here. Last lap on this criterium. It was only 35 minutes. It's short but really punchy. And now things are going to get spicy. Last laps, every criterium, you gotta know what's happening. You gotta be alert. It's really, really fun. It's scary, but you gotta decide what you want to do. We're gonna see maybe some late attacks. Things are happening. I'm sitting in fourth or fifth wheel here, and I'm waiting to see what people are gonna do. And we got a flyer right here from the back. We have an attack on the last lap. It's going to ramp it up. And that's a good place to attack because you can take that turn on your own and take whatever line you want and just zoom right through it. And I'm getting gapped here. Man, this hurts. I thought this was the end of the race for me. I thought I wasn't going to be able to catch up, but I did. I was able to get up there. 31 miles an hour. I'm at 130 RPM. And it slows down just enough. It doesn't go too far above 30 miles an hour. And you can tell people are racing. They want to move up. What am I going to do? I'm in the back of this group. I got to do something. And here I come. I put in an effort. I get my butt up there. And this is great. This is good. And this guy is, he's slowing down and he accidentally goes into the gravel. He makes it. He gets back on. And now I'm kind of in the front of this group. There's just this guy in front of me. That's third place right there. This guy that went into the attack. Can we catch him? Or can I catch him? My heart rate is not so good. 183. I am hurting. Let's see how I can take this turn. Do I have the guts to really just rail this? What happens? Do I go inside? Oh, I take it wide. I take it really wide. This guy takes it inside. And he's going up there. And now this is it. We're about 300 meters to go. Let's punch it. What do I have left? Man, I had like 800 watts. And there's third place and fourth place right in front of me. And I am done. I'm just surged out. My legs are on fire. And here comes somebody who's just, can I make it? Can I make it in front of him? I put in the last surge and no. He gets fifth. I get sixth. Guys, super excited about track racing, fixed gear. I'm definitely going to be doing it again. Totally awesome community out there. Kind of a different vibe from road. I'm digging it. Subscribe. You know what to do. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Now